wanted to spend a little time talking about walking you through the linked list, and we'll do it in like these little short videos, and then you'll implement it. One thing I wanted to do is I wanted to go over. So this is what our linked list project's eventually going to look like. Okay, so there's this thing called linked list fun. And it'll say, please enter 1 to insert and 0 to delete. And I can hit 1. Okay. And then it says, please enter number to insert. And I'm going to insert 2 to my linked list. And now there's a node with the data of 2. And 2 is up there. And it says, please enter 1 to insert or 0 to delete. And I'm going to hit 1 to insert. And then it says, please enter number to insert. And I'm going to go 22. And now I have those two numbers in there. Okay, so I've basically given you this thing that renders the numbers in a linked list in an easy way so that you know pretty quickly if you've done it right or wrong. Okay, and how that happens is that's here in this main file, which you don't have to touch. Is that right? Yeah, you don't have to touch this. Okay, so if you're looking at this and you're like, this looks confusing, don't worry about it. You actually don't have to worry about drawing the linked list on the screen, or the data of the linked list on the screen. But if you're interested in how it works, it's pretty straightforward. All right, so we have the string command show input dialog. All right, and then if command equals 1. So if you hit 1, so this actually brings an input dialog onto the screen. The annoying part about processing is that you can't actually type into the console. So you can't use scanner or anything. So this is the way we get around scanner, is we use Java Swing, which is the graphics that pane for, and you use this graphics pane that gives you a dialog box. It's a dumb hack, but it works, so we'll just do that. Okay, and then we say number to insert, and we insert the string, so the number is inserted as a string, and then we use integer.parseInt to change the string into an integer. So remember, parseInt changes the string into an integer. Notice that this is a big I integer, okay, and we're not calling parseInt on an instance of integer, we're calling it on the whole integer class, okay? So parseInt must be a static method, right? Because this method belongs to the class. We don't have to call it on a method of the class, so it must be a static method. We learned that earlier, right? Static means belonging to the class, and all the objects share that. So you could call parseInt on an object of an integer, but we can also call it on the actual class, and that's typically what we do with static methods. Okay, and then right here we have a add to head number to insert. Okay, and this is the basic thing. We could eventually modify this because we're also going to do an add to tail, so you could change this up to test for that. Okay, but we'll get there. And then 0 does the same thing, right? So if you hit 1, you put in a number and it inserts it into your linked list. If you hit 0, you put in a number, and if it finds that number, it deletes it from the linked list, okay? And so delete has to return a true or false value. True if it finds that number, okay? And if it doesn't find that number, it doesn't delete it, obviously, but it also tells you that that number wasn't found. Okay, and then at that point, we're either way we're entering anything to continue, and then we say command -1, which actually ends the. It's a command that will never be. Will mean nothing. It's just a command that allows us to get to the next dialog box because let's see, please enter 1 to insert, right? And then please enter number to insert, and I say 22, and we're there. But then if I say let's delete 5, right, it's going to come back with like number 5 not found. Enter anything to continue. Okay, so we'll enter whatever number we want. Okay, it'll be changed to -1 at the end, so it won't trigger anything in between, and now it'll say enter 1 to insert and 0 to delete. I'm just kind of making sure that like it doesn't go through twice with the same input. That's all I'm doing, and it's probably unnecessary because I have a pause up there, but maybe not. Maybe it is necessary. I don't know. There is a weird font thing, but I included the font in the project, so you should be okay. And it should just use another font if it doesn't have your font. My computer has this font, but it doesn't. It somehow doesn't use it. So you can find the fonts in your that are in your project by coming down here and saying like create font. So that's all I did to get the font in my project. I found a font, like whatever font was good. I think in this case it was Palatino Bold 20. So Palatino Bold, I made the size 20, and so then it made it Palatino Bold 20, and it's a VLW. Okay. I don't think you'll have to do anything with that, but if it doesn't say this, if it just says font not found and it's like an error, okay, then you're gonna have to come here, click on it, create the font, and then grab this and put it where the font is over here. So right now, whatever I have, Valentino Bold.VLW will be something else. Maybe I'll change this to like Times New Roman or something that is, or maybe I'll try it on my PC and make sure it works, so that people aren't freaking out. All right. Okay, so that's just the bare bones stuff. We haven't even talked about the linked list yet, but I don't want to. I want to make sure you have a handle on this before we go on. So you don't have to touch this. Okay, you may have to touch it a little later, but right now you don't have to touch this. And we're gonna jump into the code of the linked list next video.